Well, I'm here today talking with Captain and Tennille, Daryl Dragon, and Toni Tennille. You're known for, of course, the Grammy-winning Love Will Keep Us Together, and other hits like Shop Around, Lonely Night, Do That To Me One More Time, and The Way I Want to Touch You. I'm holding in my hands, thanks to Daryl, he sent me the new CD that came out last year that's called More Than Dancing, Much More. And from what I understand, it's not really new in a sense. I was wondering if you can give some background on the original release.
Daryl's real good at that. Go for it, Daryl.
It's been many years. This was recorded in studio in California, in our own studio. But the budget was given to us by a company called Wizard Records in Australia back in 80. It must have been almost like 82 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so we got it released on Wizard Records in Sydney, Australia, and some of Australia. Then of course the record company went under, down under, and so it just kind of sat there all those years, and it really had some good tunes. Toni wrote a song called, I think, Baby I Misbehave was on there, and a bunch of other tracks that we took a lot of pride in, but nobody ever heard it, certainly in the U.S., unless they were lucky enough to even hear about the release in Australia. It was I heard it's kind of worth some money, the LP right now. So anyway, we got a call just maybe, I think it was a year ago, from a company in Australia called Raven, R-A-V-E-N Records, and they have so we signed a deal with them, and they said, well, could we add some bonus tracks on there to make it a little different? So we put on these extra tunes that were actually, some of them were off of a release that we did on KTEL. I forgot how many tunes that they wanted off there, like cover versions of some tunes that we did. Plus, we had some demos almost that we were trying to sell as a way to get a record deal here in the U.S. And that's how we made it.
Well, actually, a lot of those songs on there, Daryl, are stuff I wrote, hoping somebody else would record them.
Yeah, some of that too. So it was the Raven Records liked some of those tunes, so we put some of those on the album as well. So there's a total of, I don't know how many tracks. 21 tracks on there. So it's a pretty good deal.
What are some of your favorite tracks off of the CD?
I've always liked "Come On to My House." If you're old enough to remember the original, it's Rosemary Clooney did it back in the 40s or something like that, 50s, and it was a hit record. And then we did it kind of our own stamp on there, and I even actually have a little thing that I sing on there. Actually, I'm ahead of my time. I was doing rap back in the 80s.
Yeah, Daryl.
I say the word "come on." About 14 times.
In rap form.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how long you've been married and how you met and came to form the Captain and Tennille in the first place?
Well, we met in San Francisco in the summer of 1971, and at the time I was doing a musical I had written with a guy from South Coast Repertory Theater in Southern California called Mother Earth. It was a musical based on an ecology theme. And we were performing it up there, and we needed a new keyboard player. So Daryl was recommended to me, and he flew up and auditioned for me, and I hired him to play in the band. And then when the show closed, Daryl got me the job playing with the Beach Boys. Their regular piano player wanted to take a year off and get his degree, I think is what he was doing. So Daryl taught me all the piano parts, and I went out on the road with the Beach Boys off and on for about a year. And in between Beach Boy tours, he and I started working in clubs in the L.A. area just to make some money.